It wasn't until I turned vegan that I really started questioning my faith. Um, and the way they are both connected is because I realized that the reason why most people are not vegan, in my culture at least, it's because my culture deems it as abnormal. My culture says eating cows and chickens and pigs is 100% acceptable. And I realized it was, and because my culture says that, people aren't judged on it. Restaurants cater to that kind of diet. So it's not only that it's socially acceptable, but it's just also the easiest outlet. If you want to go out and eat somewhere, then you can easily find a place to eat. So then I started looking back at history, and a lot of people today don't view slavery as socially acceptable, but back in the day it was, which now I totally understand how people could potentially view that as okay. Before, I couldn't even fathom how people could even portray that as okay. But it was, because society said it was okay. So I noticed that people follow what society deems as okay. It's just part of our nature to follow the herd. And it makes sense from a biological standpoint, because back in the day, and I mean millions of years ago, when we were hunters and gatherers, our life depended on following the herd, in listening to our leaders, and in not being seen as an outcast, because our survival depended on teamwork. So it makes sense in a biological standpoint. I understand. So then somehow I started thinking about religion, and how there's a history to religion, and how that fit, and how religion fit into history. And I saw how I started questioning it. So because I questioned people's morals in food, I questioned their beliefs as well. And I was like, well, why do we believe in a higher being? Or why do we believe in the Bible? Or why do we believe in Jesus? Is there any proof or evidence on this figure? So I looked it up, and I couldn't find anything. Is there any proof of life after death? No hardcore evidence. Only thing we have found is people that have said they have died and come back to life, and the experiences they've experienced in an afterlife, if you will. But a lot of this could be traced back to science. So being a biology major, I definitely 100% 100% believe in Darwin's theory of evolution. I believe in the power of science, and what I mean by power is in the power of learning new things about the earth based on looking at discovering our past and our existence in this world, looking at evidence from fossils or rocks. And I'm not going to say I understand every bit of how this discovery comes, of how we understand the beginning of Earth, or how we understand that there's a volcanic lava in the center of the Earth, or I don't understand every little bit of it. It's a mystery to me in itself. And just because I'm a biology major doesn't mean I understand absolutely everything with periods and commas. But I am a strong believer in the whole idea of needing evidence for things. I just simply refuse or question anyone's belief of something if there is a lack of evidence. And I realized that religion requires so much faith that, to me, it was the equivalence of suggesting that there is a blue panda that is sitting on top of a tree, and if you live life according to his rules, then you are going to be rewarded. So I saw it like, if religion wasn't so socially acceptable, and someone just randomly told you that there is this panda or God or whatever it may be. I'm saying panda because it sounds absurd to most people, and people don't see God as sounding absurd because it's something that's socially acceptable. So I'm trying to put it in a different perspective. But if we didn't believe in God, if that wasn't something that was brought up as socially normal, wouldn't we all agree that the purple panda is such an absurd idea to believe in? If someone just randomly told you that, if just one person told you this, wouldn't you think that it was a little bizarre and odd? And little is an understatement. Yeah, we would. We really would. We would question their sanity, in fact. Even if they meant well. But because together as a society, we have deemed religion as acceptable, as normal, then it's something that we kind of all follow. And it makes sense that we all believe this, because since we were children, our parents, people that we trust, have taught us these set of ideas, morals, rules. Not only have the people that we've trusted taught us this and encoded this in our head, also society has normalized it. So it's no wonder why people believe, even intelligent people don't even question it, because we were taught not to question. And this is where religion can become very serious, because without questioning, like, if we all 100% believed that we shouldn't question things, then where would we be? We are as advanced as we are because we question. Because we don't take certain faith as an answer. Because we do experiments. And we use trial and error. Not because we just accept things for what they are. Sure, there's lots of things we still don't understand, but that's not to say that God has something to do with it. And I'm not saying there is or isn't a God, but the chances of there being a God or that purple panda are just the same. That purple panda and God have the same chances of being, of existing, essentially. And I wonder if that just blows your mind, because it blew mine. It's just a word for thought.